Good morning from Jonesboro, Arkansas, 7:55 a.m., June 29th, 2022. I have a question for you. Carvana and Vroom, can they survive? Is it possible for them to make a profit? When I bought my first car from Carvana, first learned about them and realized I loved what they did, loved it, I said, I know they're not making a profit, but if they can figure out how to make a profit, they will be huge. This is before I realized how poorly run they were. Their executive team does an extremely bad job, seriously. But if somebody knows how to run a corporation properly, would it be possible to make a profit with Carvana, Vroom, or the new one that popped up? There's a new one that's starting to see advertising for them, and I cannot remember the name of it. I searched for Carvana competitors. I searched 2 or 3 ways and could not think of the name, even though I've seen their ad numerous times over the last few days, because I was going to look and see if they're a public company to see how they're doing. I'm not sure it's possible. I don't know enough about the car industry. I don't know enough about this type of thing, and it's new to know if it's possible for them to make a profit. Just like when Tesla was losing money, I said, I don't know if it's possible for Tesla to make money. Let's take a look at Carvana. They were down 18% again yesterday. This is from a high of, we're fixing to look, high 300, right there, $376. Can you imagine buying 100 shares at that point? It'd been $37,600, now worth $2,400. Can you imagine what you would feel like? We're going to go over this real quick. I want to show you something. I pointed this out, I don't know how many times, I'm going to point it out again. Total debt to equity, 13 freaking thousand. 660 million cash, 6.7 billion debt. Don't know it's possible. Now let's look at this. Here is their profit margin. Look at that profit margin. Negative 1%, negative 3%, negative 3%, negative 3%. That's not that far off from zero. It's really not. But look at their cash flow. Negative 25, negative 17, negative 25, negative 28, negative 32, negative 76. They are burning through cash. And this is not quarterly. This is annually. So man, that's terrible. Negative 25% profit margin. They have cut that down. It has gotten better. I'm still not sure if it's possible for them to make a profit. And even if they start making a profit at this point, they're so far in debt. Can they survive? Let's look at Vroom, their main competition. Down 16% yesterday. Let's see what the pre-market is for Carvana. Another 4%. You add these together, it's 23% if this holds in one day. Vroom, down 16% yesterday, even today. We'll see what happens. $1.35. Let's see what about their debt. Total debt to equity, 232. That's not good, but for a young company, that's not bad at all. Not bad at all. 600 million, 1.4 billion in debt. Let's look at their profit margin. Profit margin, negative 11%, negative 15%, negative 23, negative 11. Free cash flow. Look at all these negatives. Burning through cash. But young companies usually do that. Carvana's been around long enough now where they ought not be doing that. It's a big bad sign if you ask me. Of course, everybody has their own ideas when it comes to finances and when it comes to stock market. You can decide whether Carvana has been around long enough or not to burn through this much cash. You start a new company, you're going to be burning through some free cash flow, I guarantee you. But you can't do it forever. Let's look at CarMax, which they do deliver cars, but it's done a completely different way. You can also buy on the car lot. I'm not sure it's a fair comparison, but it's the closest I could think of. And I think it's okay to compare CarMax with Vroom and Carvana, as long as you realize they're not exactly the same. But you can get cars delivered. CarMax, down 4.5%, 4.25% yesterday. Another 1.25% today, that's 5.5%. Let's look at PE ratio, 13.54. That's not bad. That is actually really good. Vroom PE ratio is going to be negative because they don't have a PE. You can't have a PE, which is price to earnings, unless you have some earnings, profit. So CarMax 13 is really good. I like that. That's something I like to see. They're close to the 52-week low as well. Look at stats. Look at their debt. $19.4 billion in debt, $102 million in cash, $371 debt to equity. For a company been around as long as them, that's way, 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 way higher than I like to see. I'm not interested in this company. But I'm not saying you can't survive it. And look here, dividend. Considering they have no dividend and they have this much debt, no, not for me. And let's look at this. CarMax profit margin. 3%, 3.6, 3.9, 4.3, 4.6. They are making a profit. But look at the free cash flow, minus 9%, 2.7, minus 2.8, minus 0.8, minus 2.2. They have negative free cash flow too most years. They are making an extremely slim profit margin. Is that because of the times? Well, no, evidently not, because this is annual. This is going back. We didn't have COVID and the big car bubble in 13, 14, 15, and 16. So let's see. They're all about the same. It seems to me, at a quick glance, without getting into it too deep, just quickly, and this may not be true, it looks like that the virus hasn't affected them at all, or the car bubble nonsense. So back to the question. Is it possible for them to make a profit? You put the best executive team, you put the best one out there in charge of Vroom or Carvana. Could they make a profit? I have no idea. I don't know enough about the industry to know. If you work in the car market, then maybe you can tell me. I'll tell you this about Carvana. Their customer service has gone way downhill. When they first started, I thought their customer service was incredible, and now it sucks. Or it's great, depending on who you get a hold of on the telephone. But if you ask for a supervisor, they're going to pretty much tell you to piss off. I asked for a supervisor once, and I forgot what she said, but she pretty much told me in a sort of friendly way to piss off. She did. They will not let you talk to a supervisor. At least they wouldn't me. And I was nice. The question is, can they make a profit? Is it possible? Just like I said about Tesla, if they can figure out how to make a profit, they're going to be one of the largest companies in the world. They have figured out how to make a profit. If they can sustain that, Tesla will be one of the largest companies in the history of the world for at least a decade, 2 decades, who knows how long. Carvana, if somebody can figure out how to make a profit with Carvana, Vroom, or one of those people, and they can grow, they will be huge. If they can figure out how to make a profit. Is it possible? I'm too dumb to know. How about you? Do you know? That's about all. Subscribe, comment, ring the bell. See ya.